Hello and welcome to the tutorial on how to create ocean swell using Maya 2011 and RealFlow 5. My name is Florian and I'm going to guide you through the steps that it takes. First, you have to model a seabed or sea ground like the one you're seeing here. Um, this is because we need to have something that our water can flow along, and you need to have, you're seeing these ditches there and stuff like that. This is very important because this will create currents inside your fluid, making the fluid motion look more natural. Alright, so you can open the file start.mb from the companion DVD, or just model something like this yourself. When modeling, pay attention that you do not use a much higher resolution for the sea ground, because the higher this is resoluted, the longer it will take to take RealFlow to simulate the fluid, because yeah, more geometry will lead to more calculations, and more calculations will lead to the simulation to take more time. And I also modeled a pier. This is also not very complex, not a very complex model. You see that this has a lot more detail and in just more resolution, more vertices. This is why I will be importing this into RealFlow in a different format. We'll be seeing that soon. First, we need RealFlow 5. So let's start the software. Very important for all of you who are using RealFlow versions that before 5. You will not be possible to make or to finish this tutorial. This is because we're using RealFlow's new hybrid solver, which is a system for simulating large bodies of water. This is a grid solver, and this is working differently than the RealFlow standard particle solver. So you cannot follow along the steps using RealFlow 4 or RealFlow 3 or whatever. You need to upgrade to RealFlow 5. If you do not have RealFlow 5 installed on your machine, and then you can go to www.realflow.com, and there you can download RealFlow 5 as a demo version, as well as the RealFlow Renekit as a demo version. We'll be using the Renekit in the last part of this tutorial, when I will show you how to get the stuff from RealFlow into Maya, creating basic setup for rendering of fluid animation. So in RealFlow we have to create a new project. You can name it whatever you like. We call it Ocean Swells. Ocean Swells 01. Just in case you want to have a different version, and you can say Ocean Swells 02. It's very important when creating that project that on the hard disk where you're creating that, you have at least 200 gigabytes free. Yes, 200 gigabytes sounds crazy, but fluid simulation is always eating up big amounts of memory on your hard disks. And the large-scale fluid simulation will eat up even more, because we need a highly resoluted or medium resoluted voxel grid. And as you probably know from Maya fluids, if you have been playing with that, or playing with fluid dynamics in any other application, where it takes grids with a certain amount of resolution, there are lots of values sampled over the grid points, and this is really eating up lots of memory. You cannot do anything about it, but for example buy a hard disk for doing so. If you happen not to have this big amount of memory, you can still try to make the same simulation as we're doing, but with a lower resolution. I'll be getting back to this point when it comes up. Another thing, your computer. The computer I was working this tutorial, I was working for this tutorial is my home computer. It's a Intel Core 2 Quad CPU Q6600 at 2.4 gigahertz with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So this is not the latest machine at all, but I think that you might have a similar machine at home or maybe a better machine. So if you have a machine that is far beyond those specs, probably there could be some glitches when you're trying to follow along the tutorial, and the simulation times could really explode. So pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, we're creating a new project. Project name Ocean Smells 01, and then we say create new project. Fine. So we've got an empty project, and we can switch back to Maya. In Maya, we want to export the sea ground as well as the pier into RealFlow. How are we supposed to do that? Well, we need to use the RealFlow plugin. This is here in the shelves. There's a RealFlow shelf, and there are some funny icons. If you cannot see a RealFlow shelf in your version of Maya, or if you cannot see, then this is probably not installed. When you're downloading a copy of RealFlow from www.realflow.com, then you have access to the RealFlow plugin. You can install this for Maya or whatever 3D animation software you like. You can follow along the tutorial using virtually any 3D animation software, because most of the time we'll be using RealFlow, and there's just some small parts in Maya or different software, and you will be exporting or importing stuff from and to RealFlow in virtually a similar manner. Okay, to make sure the plugin is loaded, go to Windows, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager, and make sure that this is looking like this here, realflow.mll. This is the RealFlow plugin, and this has to be loaded. In case you want to autoload this every time you're starting Maya, also hook autoload. The RealFlow Render Kit is also something that you can install right now or later. We'll be getting back to this one. But main thing is realflow.mll has to be loaded, and in order to see these files.